All right, hello, Speed Gaming, and welcome to this Week 5 Rando League match. We've got Traffic Talks versus White Mage Becky. I'm Glove, joined today on comms by Duck. How are you, Duck?
Hey, how you doing?
I'm pretty good. I'm kind of interested to see this week. Honestly, like these settings are interesting to me, I guess.
These are interesting to you? This seems like vanilla, but things are in slightly different spots.
Yeah. Oh, I'm not saying it's interesting as area rando, but I actually like this as a novel concept for 1 week.
Yeah, it's I mean, they're not like bad or anything. I just the thing with these settings, practicing it, it's either like you just get both suits like in Brainstar, and then it's just running through the entire thing, or the game decides not to give you power bombs, and then you have to search for them for an hour and find them eventually. It's like one of the two. Those are the only two seeds you get. So, but we'll see. What's interesting to me is these teams are both from Meridia. Meridia's got quite the dogfight going on.
Oh my god, yeah.
For the playoff spot. Basically, you have Cat Girls almost locked in at 7-1. You've got two teams at the bottom who just have 2 wins and 1 win respectively, and then there's 4 teams fighting for 3 spots. 3 of them have 5 wins, and Croc's Third Law is just behind with 4 and 4. So especially if Croc's Third Law goes 2-0 this week, they'll effectively swap with Tales of the Dredded Metroid. So this is a huge week.
Absolutely.
And enough going on that there's still enough left that even if Croc's Third Law does drop 1 or 2 here, not completely out of it, but certainly the climb becomes very uphill.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's funny that we essentially ended up in a situation where nearly all the teams contending for second seed have to play each other yet.
So Becky bailing out on these miners and is going to get immediately hosed by it. You think
it's a choice?
Is it?
I mean, clearly.
I guess it's a choice in the sarcastic version of the word choice. The thing is, like, miners. Now, the fact that power bombs are there, I think that this rando is a little bit weird because you can't really just look at it holistically. The rando will not give you like a power bomb right away if it if it put the power bomb very deep, like let's say it's at like ice beam or something. The rando is not going to want to give you ones early. So the fact that there are power bombs there means that the power bomb is probably pretty soon. Probably, I say that.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if that's really how it works.
Oh, that's definitely how. There's no way just by it definitely forces your first power bomb pickup to be at a certain location.
But that's not your first power bomb pickup. This is Chozo.
Yeah, it will still do it. Trust me, I played enough of these where I've had 0 power bombs in like 20 spots. That.
Yeah, I'm familiar, but like the minor progression logic is based on the Chozo statues.
Yeah. But alright, never mind. Well, I mean, Becky at least gets bombs, so unfortunately gets bombs, and we'll have to fight the BT here.
Yeah, so I believe this means either missiles or supers at Gauntlet.
Probably. I mean, it still could just be the power bomb there.
That's true, yeah.
Oh, wait, I guess. No. We do need a missile pack because we won't be able to open any other Chozos, right? Because it'd be. So, yeah, you're right. Missile order. Well, the super could be here. So, yeah, it could be a power bomb up there. So, Becky's going to miss out on this. Not going to be a big deal for her. If she can stumble on a power bomb pack, will kind of get bailed out. She'll actually be a little bit ahead just from this skip. If this skip works out for her, that's very lucky. Just miners are so important, especially early on.
Yeah, I'm not huge on this, and I think people really devalue ammo hunt in Chozo. Like
Yeah. Well,
I've
assuming it's boss shuffle. If it's not boss shuffle, then it matters. It's different. I'd say because the reason boss shuffle makes a difference is because you pretty much always want those 30 supers for Ridley unless you get a very early charge and a very early beam, right? So by the time you get to 30, you're already basically halfway there for Mother Brain. It's just one or two super packs that you might stumble into, and then like you're most of the way there, right? And then it becomes probably easier to do that than like look for charge at it could be like Shack Tool or something really annoying, so you could potentially skip a lot. Sorry, I know I kind of cut you off there, but like I think the fact that in boss shuffle, you're right that the ammo hunt can actually be pretty valuable.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly think even saying it can be pretty valuable is underselling it. Like, I've run more of these seats than I want to, especially considering I'm not doing this week. And I actually think ammo hunt is sort of what you should be aiming for. Like,
Yeah, I was off last week, so I've done a ton of these just because I was bored. And it just depends. Like, yeah, it really depends on the context. But you're right that certainly ammo should. I mean, it's just like the rest. Sometimes you go ammo, sometimes you don't.
yeah.
But you're right that it's probably undervalued. We were saying that Becky, sort of purely made up time by skipping those. She's down 2 power bombs, which can be really huge, and is down a super already, which again can be really huge. So if we have like a really maybe we see a early Varia,
Yeah.
and an early Ridley, that could be big for Trav.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, unless Charge shows up in a nice spot, the odds of her finding a super more convenient to pick up than that one over at Beta Missiles had been are pretty low.
Yeah, I mean, Beta is 2 doors. It's further than I think a lot of people realize, but yeah, it's still, especially early on, like a super early is worth more than a super late.
Yeah, for sure.
Also, again, Becky's gonna miss. I mean, you could do the screw attack trick here. That's technically in logic for SMZ3.
It's in logic for it? That's interesting.
Yeah, it's so rare. I guess maybe not anymore because of the guaranteed sphere 0 thing now. At least it used to be.
All right. Traffic Talks thankfully gets the correct side to accidentally go down. Whoa.
Wait.
Oh, right. Traffic Talks is health bomb. That's really unfortunate.
Trav also missed the reserve, which is huge in boss shuffle because of Ridley.
Yeah.
1 reserve is massive. It's worth 1 reserve is worth easily 2 E-tanks on the Ridley.
Agreed.
Fleet.
But yeah, I guess I don't know, stuff like the way you do ammo hunt, I guess, is also dependent on sort of there are a lot of pieces necessary to work towards the prescribed meta. You have to be comfortable doing stuff like X-ray deboost, high jump plus lava dive. I think even hypo jump is a thing that a lot more people care about now.
Oh no, the reserve.
Wait, Becky skipped charge.
Becky also skipped Spore Spawn. Maybe she's thinking. I mean, it is possible to be like, just because you normally power bomb, like, oh, they'll lock behind power bombs.
Yeah, I assume that's what she's. Okay, she's gone back.
She was coming here just for a power bomb to make it quicker. I don't know if that makes any sense.
I think she might have just forgotten.
That is
not thought about it.
That is fair. I've made the joke several times that commentators also often think of like some sort of brain genius thing the runner's trying to do, and it turns out that nope, they just forgot.
She
I didn't even screen this screen shake on Trav's side, and I must have just missed it.
Yeah, it's kind of hard to tell with like the 15 FPS restream that commentators get.
Yeah, Trav not only skipped the reserve, which at 0 health, much less just turning down reserve in a boss shuffle was maybe a bit questionable. Also turned down the 2 miners.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think I guess we can quibble about the relative weight, but I think we're on the same page that people are definitely undervalue the miners in Chozo.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times when you play Chozo, you feel like, oh, I'm just going to get most because there's so few Chozo statues compared to like even major minor. It's like I'm likely, if I just clear all the Chozos, I'm going to get everything. But
yeah, people really don't appreciate how many of the Chozo statues just suck.
Well, I mean, Shack Tool is a Chozo. You could just stop right there. I mean, the other one that's I think Croc is actually worse than Shack Tool in this. The amount of time it takes to get down there and back up.
Yeah.
And it's only
nice
one major.
The nice thing with Croc is like really the only reason you're going there is for a suit because he can't have charge.
Oh my god, you're right. Thank you for pointing that out to me. Oh, I've been doing that in my practices.
Oh no.
In fact, the only time I've gone to Croc is because of of charge. That's funny. Okay, yeah. I even said out loud, charge came behind Croc because of the ammo thing. I just didn't put 2 and 2 together.
Yeah. So Becky does get her logical power bomb, which is nice. She's missing out on alpha peeps. This is like a not unreasonable skip. Missing out on X-ray as well is kind of rough.
I don't know. I kind of feel like alpha peeps aren't that far. And again, just Chozos are so valuable, especially because there are those like 1 or 2 like awful ones, right?
Yeah.
Anything that's even remotely like it feels like, oh, I got to do this and I got to backtrack, right? But like,
yeah, I mean,
I feel like alpha PBs just do it. I mean, like Becky's clearly she's skipping the early minors and everything. She's clearly trying to play this very aggressively. We'll see if it works out. Definitely.
Well, at the time, she couldn't do alpha peeps because she didn't have power bombs.
That's true. That's true.
Like you can do it, but if you don't find specifically PBs, you've lost the race. All right, there's gravity. But yeah, I mean, I'm fine skipping alpha peebs. Like, if you have both suits, I think you always skip it.
Sure, but I don't know.
It happens pretty quickly.
Like, still having, getting a movement item up there.
I mean, it takes like 1:20 to get there and back, so it's not insignificant.
No, I know.
But like, I still think it's okay to check it. And, I certainly don't expect Traffic Tux to do X-ray here.
Yeah, basically can't. I mean, if fill up its slotters and go back up, you could. But
yeah.
Yeah,
I mean, it's okay, but even then, like...
Well, you could. You have to do the safe way back, which is incredibly slow. When I say quote-unquote can't, but yeah.
You don't have to. 2 tanks is enough.
No, I'm saying, like, it's always technically possible.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. But 2 tanks is the part where you can do the fast way back.
I do on 2.
Uh-huh. Anyway, so Becky's in a really good spot.
Yeah, I mean, I've been sort of sitting here snipping at Becky's choices, and she's just ahead by a good bit now. The one thing we'll see if the supers come back to Hunter. That's gonna be the one thing. But conversely, she's got these E-tanks that she can go do these hell runs. Trav's gonna be in
these hell runs.
Oh, we have Vari already too?
Yes. This is why I hate gravity and
like I said,
jump at Varia.
There's 2 versions of they either gives you both suits like right next to each other, or like you're spinning out looking for a power bomb. So
no, it's understandable though. The I love the Trans Samus sprite, but it is impossible to tell which suit is which.
Yeah, the trans sprites, one of those sprites where like they made like the power suit look really good, and then they just kind of like pushed the randomizer on the other two versions.
Me too, thanks.
What?
I did the same thing with the non-binary sprite I made.
Oh, yeah, I didn't realize you made the NB one.
Yeah. Just weird using it now.
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, I don't. Okay, so like Becky basically has to check Norfair Reserve here, unfortunately. Literally because of skipping
Yeah.
other miners checks.
That's the thing about skipping those early. You go like, oh, I'm skipping the early. A lot of times it just comes back to haunt you. Now, like, if you're trading off those two early criteria ones versus these three, like these three are almost better, right? It's 3.
Yeah. If this is all you ever have to check, then that's cool, but and she did get rewarded nicely there. Like you can technically kill Ridley on this. It would suck, and you have to double hit almost all your power bombs, so I would not count on it, but
oh yeah, never mind. She only has 20. Yeah.
I also wouldn't skip those missiles. But it seems to be working out for her, so...
Yeah, I mean, she's clearly... I think Becky has come in with the game plan that, like, she's considering charge to be required.
Right. Yeah, I mean, that's fine.
Sometimes it works out, you know, if we were playing this right and we're gobbling up a lot more ammo, and charge just ends up being, like, behind Ridley, right, or somewhere like very obvious, right, we're gonna lose a ton of time from all those fanfares, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah, especially since like at this point, well, like at this point, a lot of people would have checked a lot of other minor items, and with this ammo, there's still a chance you decide to commit to charge, leaving Upper Norfair. Okay, well, not with that super there. Probably.
Yeah, at this point, she's definitely able to kill 4 out of 4 bosses, I'd say, pretty comfortably. Ironically, now she's, after all that, she's now ahead of Trav in the ammo hunt, just because Trav's been besmirching missiles. He only has 5.
Yeah, I mean, Trav still has more ammo in Potentia, so to speak.
Yeah, sure. Just being behind these couple of checks that we know had a couple supers. Thank you for using my old man words, not saying like, oh, you know, Trav's freaking these missiles quicker or whatever.
I didn't know it would be such a big deal.
Kids with your language and your TikToks and your dancing.
I don't even have TikTok.
Well, about no one's gonna soon.
Fair enough.
So yeah, pretty much. I would say like execution-wise and everything, these two were, you know, neither have made like any big mistakes or anything. Like they're pretty close. So Becky's just been, I think, a little bit more aggressive on some of these skips. You know, not doing alpha peeps, which she was sort of forced into based on her earlier aggression. And that's kind of because at this point they've sort of been checking. You know, since they got to Norfair, they've been doing all the same checks. So Becky's just been holding on to this gap. Trav's not really closing it up at all.
Yeah, Trav.
Well, now he's closed it up by about 20 seconds now.
We've all done it.
Oh my god, that's got to be up there on the commentator Kurt. I was literally finishing the seconds. She said, "What the hell?" Oh, Becky. Sorry.
But yeah, Travis gonna have slightly better resources going, or like actually fairly significantly better resources going into LN. As long as the Ninja Pirates give Becky the hookup, though, it's fine.
I mean, 8 is asking for a lot from the Ninja Pirates. Six is expected, like the EV, right?
But it's not a huge farm after that.
No. Well, and it's getting
now it's more concerning.
What is? She's gonna have to bomb back up.
Yeah, there is a way to do it with only high jump, but my God, it sucks.
When Aussie said don't bother with it, then I know it's pretty bad.
Yeah, some people have been trying to.
Oh, she's also spring ball. That's gonna be the
I don't think she knows that this doesn't work without speed.
Yeah.
Okay, there we go.
That's the SMZ3 tech finally coming into use over here. Which is no longer an SMZ3 thing because we've added the room in, but
I don't think she can get it from here. Okay, wow, that was...
Jeez! That was a hell of a swing.
Yeah. Well, when you turn spring ball jump on, it actually increases your momentum.
Yeah.
So it is a little bit deceptive. Okay, again, like, once you're here, I honestly would have liked to at least see lay a power bomb as you enter the room to get all 6 drops.
Yeah, like, power bomb or just the screw attack. I'll just do the screw attack farm, like just the RBO version of it.
Yeah. Because, I mean, I think it's even fine at, like, let's say you're at, I don't know, the Fantoon boss or something. It's kind of okay to, like, save and be like, it's probably not Ridley, so I just won't farm up, but even that's, like, actually pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
But here, you can't do that. You can't be like, it's probably not Ridley, so, I'll just reset if it is. Because the save is stupidly far away.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on how aggressive you want to be. Like, if I was playing, like, Zost or something, I'd probably do that, just to, those seconds matter. So if you think you're in a situation where seconds matter, playing for a... Like, if you think you're... Let's say, like, you think the match is, like, 50-50. This, like, I would say this match is probably pretty 50-50 before, they're pretty evenly matched. Well, that's a 75% chance all of a sudden to save a bunch of time. Like, that's in your favor, right? So...
Okay, so Becky had to check GT. I'm actually not huge on traffic checking it.
I mean, the same thing, like I think just from how they've been playing and just the missiles transmit, like the gameplay seems to be like, I'm not going for ammo at all. I'm going for charge.
Yeah.
But if charge is here, like, I mean, you're just, like, at this point, just like looking at what you have, and just forgetting the stuff you may have skipped because that stuff's done no matter what. Like, this is still decent ammo to be able to get to ammo go mode. I mean, you only need six supers, and honestly, skipping the missiles is what's really been hurting Trav, because you really want about 30. Do like 30-60 is kind of the bare minimum.
Yeah, I mean,
we don't have a Zeb skip item, so.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. If you don't have a Zeb skip item, you want like a higher ratio of your ammo to be missiles, because you don't want to have to refill.
The one thing, like, I think screw attack. The problem is, like, after screw attack, every other location is worse, right? Because what are the choices after this? We have spring ball and plasma. Both are plasma's not too bad because if you're going to Fantoon, you could just Forgotten Highway. And then you also sort of, if you've killed Fantoon, you also kind of get the Rexshire Preserve or E-Tank for quote unquote free if you go that way. But like doing any of Rex Ship is bad, right? At this point. So like all the Chozos from this point on get pretty rough. Besides the few the 3 ones you're gonna get from bosses for free.
Yeah. I feel like you're just making more of a case for doing ammo hunt.
Oh, well, I mean, I'm definitely on team ammo hunt, like.
Yeah. But it's like, if our runners are in the same situation of team charge... Wow, there's our Zeb skip item, by the way. Okay, I get the justification of looking around for supers, even if you're committed to charge, but I like Becky is being like if both players are committing to charge, Becky being more aggressive about it is just gonna give it to her.
Yeah, that's
Assuming like all other things equal.
the
Like
worst thing you can do
I
is do the halfy game, right? Where it's like, well, I'll pick up a couple of the easy ones, and it's like, well, that doesn't actually help you. Like, if you just aren't gonna get enough, right? Like, I mean, I guess in the situation where you just have Spazer, a couple extra, supers in your path are still gonna be fast because Spazer charge is crap, you know. But yeah, it's like if you're committing to ammo, your best thing to do is just to get as little as possible and then just go and just check the Chozos, right?
yeah. But yeah, that speed booster is pretty huge as well, because now even if Dragon is not at grade, we're still fine to do the sort of ideal routing.
Right. Yeah, we kind of glossed over that fact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we didn't have a bot wound item yet.
Yeah, I do think checking Hoda is fine. That's like basically the one ammo pickup I would be fine seeing if you're hard committing charge.
Yeah, it's close. Again, Spazer being like if you have plasma already, then you should just go because if you're committed to charge, you're gonna have a good beam. But with Spazer only, yeah, maybe one or two extra super packs certainly would be appreciated. We also haven't seen Ridley yet, so just being at 30 supers for Ridley for Becky is going to be pretty big too. It's not like if it's a lot different when Ridley is in your rearview mirror already.
Yeah, so chat's asking if anyone did Croc. There's absolutely no reason to do Croc here. One of the things with Chozo is basically you are expected to beat the game with only the items on Chozo statues. Since there's not enough ammo there to put Croc in logic, Croc can never have charge. Same thing with Ridley. And at this point, like, Ridley, you can still justify the check because, like, if you're hard committing to charge, you do want a beam. But
yeah, I mean that quick check, that's definitely worth it. I mean, even picking up pretty much anything you get there that's not one of the minors, like space jump, plasma, wave, ice, all are gonna help, right? So it's definitely worth it.
That was a pretty cool deboost back after opening the door. I'm gonna be fully honest. I just kill mini crate here when I do this. I do not believe in the bug.
Yeah, well, she only needed the one. Like mini crate's only gonna give you the supers, right?
I know. I don't care. I don't believe in that bug.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, you could just go to the missile refills right there too. Like, that's honestly what you just get the missile refill. So we do have Fantoon. So this is gonna open up our wrecked ship.
Yeah, not. I mean, we were gonna find him at some point.
Yeah, I think you kind of want, especially after you just farmed full, you kind of just want Ridley at that point to get it over with.
Yeah.
And you really like Becky, unless she finds more ammo, like she really doesn't want Ridley to be at Fantoon, because you need to use supers to get there, and there's not really any place to farm back up the ship off.
Yeah, honestly, Dragon's even pretty yucky here. Like, she really wanted Ridley to be right here. Honestly.
Yeah.
Because you can just farm up before and farm up afterward.
Yeah, like she won't use too much resource. Well, yeah, she's gonna have to use the supers on bot wound to get through him. So yeah, we'll have to farm up. Does at least have grapple.
Yeah, I mean,
Becky just
grappling
found
speed.
more early derp, and Travis also just like disrespecting reserve tanks.
All right, so checking Crate's closet here for Trav. This is like that's the point where I'm willing to say that's just actively not what you should be doing if you're committing to charge. I guess they're both doing it. And it's a super, so
Yeah, again, I mean, the fact that Becky's just purely below 30 here, and Ridley at Fantoon would actively hurt her. Does need that one extra super at least.
yeah. The nice thing with Ridley at Fantoon in this situation where you're committing to charge is unless you've already found charge, you're going through Forgotten Highway, so you don't have to use the supers going in aside from the one. It uses one less super, I guess is what I'm saying.
Trav's in his fight. Does missiles get eaten somehow? Or I just not see the flash? This was a weird first Fantoon. I'm not exactly sure what happened there.
Yeah, I think that might have just been 15 FPS.
And I think with Becky checking like some of these, this is sort of playing back into what I said earlier. It's like miners early are just more valuable than miners late, just because, you know, like if she had gotten those, you know, maybe at this point she is, you know, she's running out of spots. Maybe she starts thinking about just doing ammo and that kind of stuff that gives you more options. But now she's just kind of struggling to keep up with just having enough for Ridley.
Mm-hmm. All right, well, that's now she's not checking any other miner locations.
Well, we hope not. I mean, again, like her beam is so bad. Like if let's say charge is just behind Dragon, right? Her beam is so bad that like grabbing a super at Precious is still worth it. So. I mean, if it's a door away, then yeah.
Wait, can charge be behind Trey?
Why couldn't it? Dre drops ammo. I don't see why Dre would preclude charge.
No, but if Dre is here, then you have to kill Bot's wound.
Oh, and bot wound requires.
Yeah. So, like, if it's Dre here, I think you don't even check plasma.
Yeah, that's a good point. And if Ridley's here, you don't check. Well, you can't. You can't.
You can't check plasma. So we're not checking plasma.
No, that's a. We'll see if Becky realizes that.
Yeah.
Man, I'm glad you hopped on comms because I'm learning stuff about the race I'm doing this week.
I told you, I've been doing like 3 of these a night because Eddie doesn't want to do anything else. I'm even racing this week.
What, are you married to Eddie now? Like,
I just like racing.
That's just fine. It's just a weird thing for you. Eddie never takes me out anymore. It's like, what does that matter?
Anyway,
Yeah, have fun commentating this Dragon now.
Becky. Becky's just going for the grapple here. One spark would kill, although it's kind of scaring on chain damage. Alright, so she's not... Okay, so she is checking behind Dragon. Even if you know that this isn't in charge, this is okay.
Again, like, but same logic as behind Ridley, right? Like,
plus it's always it's always space jump here. Like, I'm pretty sure this is the 4th seed in a row I've seen space jump here.
Like, it doesn't help a ton at this point. Like, you know, this is basically be similar to where it would be in a pure KD, where we would just skip it. But like, if you're not getting the spike suit and you can just wompo jump, like.
Yeah, well, PRKD doesn't plasma spark, so.
Yeah, it does. Wait, oh, plasma spark. Yeah. Never mind.
Yeah, that's the diff.
Talking about a different spark.
I respect the blind check here from Trav. He shouldn't be checking this, but like, if you can blind check it, you have to.
So we are going to see the. Yeah, I'm not surprised, Becky. Like I'm saying, you kind of sussing out that bot wound blocks Dragon, which blocks this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I don't think this plasma is going to be the differentiator, so.
Now, is it actually faster to go Forgotten Highway if you check plasma? Or is it still better to go out?
If you check plasma, it's better.
Yeah.
Especially because
you can check
the tank.
Unless Fantoon is at Fantoon.
Right, but he's not.
Yeah, he's not on this one. Yeah, we still do have a Shack Tool laying out there. I mean, at this point, Becky's sort of committed. I think it's probably just better just to, because it's 3 versus 1, right? Play those odds rather than trying to be it safe and yeah, charge can definitely be in wreck ship.
Yeah. This is so.
Like I said, if you before this race started, you said like I feel like this is an even matchup. It's probably 50-50 before we're even off the blocks. Like going 75-25 on these checks to win. Like I'll take those odds.
Yeah, I'm not really sure what Becky's doing right now. Oh god, is she checking? She's checking X-ray and Alpha PBs first. Trav might pull ahead off this.
Yeah, I forgot she had these. I think this is actually the right routing call for her. Like having these 2 spots available, I think this is the correct routing. I mean, Forgotten Highway does suck, to be fair. Like, it does make the 1 check pretty easy. She did get this space jump, so doesn't have to worry about really spiky Room of Death or sponge bath strats at all. Not that she had to, anyways, but.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I would kind of devalue these, just because, like.
I think you're just saying that because you've seen them. It's really hard to do that.
That's true.
Also, they're not here.
Yeah, I don't think this way because I'm never like. I'm never in the situation where I haven't checked X-ray, but my opponent could have.
I mean, even with doing X, sometimes you still are in that situation, just like weird routing.
Yeah, that's true, but like, I'm saying specifically because you have a pretty good idea your opponent could have done Alpha Peeves and X-ray early. These are slightly less valuable because if you get to charge later than your opponent, you're most likely just losing this.
Yeah, except like, I mean, what would you really waste at this point? You would have wasted,
A pretty decent, like,
it
you've
really
wasted
only,
some.
screw attack and plasma, right? Because on Spazer only, you're doing speed and wave to get a beam, right? Like, those are fast enough, and they're on, quote unquote on your way to.
Sure, I mean, there's still a lot of minor item check. I don't know. Chozo, I feel like it's hard to say because Chozo's the one time where I'm like, vanilla movement's a really big deal.
Yeah, that's true.
So, this is the one format where, like, I almost feel like comfortable saying, "Oh, I did Gauntlet and it was nothing. I'm probably losing here."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, depending on your matchup, like.
hmm But and like these but I guess that's really only true when you have people who are sort of more attuned to this specific week's meta than I think most people care to be.
Yeah, I mean, like, Trav and Becky have pretty much been the same gap the entire time. The gap was just
Right.
established by Becky skipping a couple minors early,
hmm
and it's like, I don't really think execution has. I think maybe Becky. I would say if I had Becky's had a slightly stronger execution overall. Like every time Trav catches up a little bit, it seems like Becky kind of reestablishes the gap. So
Yeah.
minor. If this was an 80% race, I think Becky would probably be ahead here. But it's like by like 20 seconds. It'd be very close.
Yeah, you know what's crazy? Our runners have been skipping like everything, and even still put in a couple more checks, and they would have been ammo go mode by now.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. Like the fact that's what I'm saying, especially with the with Ridley, with boss shuffle, where you need those 30 supers like ASAP, right? Because you want to be in 4 boss capable mode.
hmm
You get to 30 really early, and then all of a sudden, like, well, I'm already halfway there, and then you pick up one more super. It's like, oh, I'll pick up a 35 to be, a safety super for Ridley, and then you're more than halfway there, and you're like, I've got a bunch of, like, I have Aqueduct that's going to be 2. I've got, if I don't have speed, Botwoon E-Tank is literally unavoidable. Like,
Right.
those
Well,
additional minor
not
locations.
literally. It's still faster to skip it.
If you don't have speed,
Yeah,
how are you going to skip it?
coming from underneath, like in low ice, if you get Ridley tank.
Oh, yeah. I forgot you could do that. So what I'm learning is I really need to shut up and play low ice a couple times. Like,
Low ice is sick, it's true.
low ice just seems like a more slow and painful version of any percent. Like, I don't.
Yeah, it's great.
Oh God.
But yeah, so Becky did Gauntlet at the very beginning. Trav did not, though, correct?
Gauntlet. I forget. God, I don't know.
I'm just trying to think what locations are still an option for both of these runners.
It's Wreck Ship and I think it's Wreck Ship and Shack for both, and both of them are doing the skip Shack tool.
Got left. Yeah, so our runners are going to meet up even if Charge is here at Wreck Ship E. That's like actually better for Becky. I don't think there's really a situation in which Trav takes a win aside from some fairly catastrophic from Becky.
Yeah, I mean they really are really damn close. Like I said, it seems like Becky has just been executing slightly better this entire time.
Yeah, I mean, well, they're still like Becky's still a Ridley plus right supers ahead. That's not insignificant at all.
Oh, I forgot about the Ridley. Yeah, you're right.
Nice deboost.
Yeah, she's a good chunk here. Even if it's, they've both made the same call in Shack Tool, so if it's Shack Tool, Becky's going to feel awful. But, it's still going to be fine. It's a suck for us. We're going to have to sit here while they go get that thing. So I'm really rooting for this thing to be by Grav.
Yeah. I kind of wonder. It's a play I've seen some people make. I kind of wonder if Trav goes back and does Gauntlet before top of ship. Because I'm pretty sure he did not do Gauntlet.
It's a hell of a play, but I don't know. It's one of those, especially with the early screw attack. I would just be like, if it's there, I lost because, good lord, Becky, why? Like, now you're gonna have full beam, except for, well, you're either gonna literally have full beam because we're out of Chozo statues, and this is either plasma or charge, or you have pure KD full beam.
No, there's one more thing it could be. Because
right. Croc could be plasma. You're right.
But
still, she has Ice Wave, Spazer, and then obviously charge. What is? I mean, we were saying like, oh man, she is almost in ammo mode. Like,
if she had picked up every missile pack that she looked at and then walked away from, she'd be just about there. Like, maybe exactly. One super, if that.
Yeah, I mean, this is what we were saying at the very beginning, that ammo is undervalued in this. Like,
yeah, and also,
I think if we were running this, if we were in this race, I think we'd be heading to Turing right now. Like, we'd be a little bit behind just because we had, more fanfares. Well, not even that many more fanfares, but
yeah.
And we'd also be able, like, the checks we would have done would have been different.
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're like ammo hunting, you're not even making many more checks that they didn't. Yeah, especially with how nice the ammo's been. And there's charge.
Thank God.
But yeah, I mean, I think also maybe, and I think this is also the case with like a lot of runners who have been around longer. Like, I'm pretty sure Becky's been around since like 2017 tournament, right?
Predates me, so I don't. I started running a Link to the Past in 2018, so.
Yeah, I mean, I started running in 2020. So, but anyway, like, I think I see a lot of the runners who have been around since that time kind of devalue missiles on the ammo hunt. And like, you have to take the missiles. You can't.
Yeah, I mean, I'd take them up to. There was a super there too. That would have been 55.
Yeah, she saw that. So like at that point, yeah, literally just
one more. Like, I mean, like I pick up missiles until like 30. I don't really above that. I start devaluing.
I pick up missiles until go mode. I think you kind of have to.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, again, it depends on the context, but
plus, like, you probably want 60 at least if you don't have a Zep skip item. Because that's around when you're like comfortably going no refill.
Yeah, that's true. This we were saying. This is like the worst case scenario where you're in this like if you're gonna play, like we were saying, like it looks like they're commit. Like if you're gonna commit to charge, commit to it.
Yeah.
This like Becky. We were saying Becky ended up in the worst. She's literally one super, like if she picked up the one on Moat, she was one other super away from being there. One super and one missile. So yeah.
Right, and she has skipped more than that in missiles that she saw in front of her.
Yeah.
And walked away from, so.
I feel like we're ragging on them a bit too much.
Yeah.
It's fine. Becky likes you. You can rag on her all you like.
Does she?
I think she tolerates me.
I guess she won't like me after watching this one back, but sorry. I just want to see people make really good decisions. And like, I mean, Becky, like a lot of stuff really did go right for her this seed. to be fair. I think, like, I don't necessarily agree with the way that she plays, but I do understand what she does, and it works out for her a lot more often than I feel like it should.
Yeah, I mean, like she's played like there's been no like execution mistakes or anything.
Mhm.
I mean, the biggest thing I can think of was the Dragon fight, kind of getting away from her. She going all the way to the top, like, um,
Yeah.
and like, yeah, she had like that early aggression early on, and then kind of like it sort of like settled down a little bit later. But yeah, she had like she was kind of been ahead and slowly pulling away this entire time. Even well, the one execution mistake would be the double elevator. But like, I think she's like regained all that time. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, she's ahead by a couple minutes here now after all that. So,
I mean, she's probably ahead by like 4 or 5 minutes at this point.
yeah, she definitely has sneakily pulled ahead by a good bit at the end here.
What would be a funny fight though? Just dink Ridley with your charge shot like twice.
I mean, Mother Brain.
Or Mother Brain. Same thing.
Ridley's a little bit scarier than Mother Brain, honestly. Like,
Yeah, it depends on the situation.
she can even go for stand up here.
That's true. Save your 8 seconds or whatever.
Yeah, it's not a lot.
It is funny though hearing you say, Ridley's just scarier than Mother Brain. Once again, you need to run low ice.
Huh?
Mother Brain's scarier in low ice. Ridley, you can lose a lot more time. Mother Brain is much more easy to lose runs to than Ridley, though.
Okay. She has more than charged ice now. I'll take that shade if she literally only had charged ice in this fight. Then yeah, okay, this fight's pretty scary.
Nah,
she has 7 E-tanks and full beam.
I don't know, it's pretty close.
Jesus. What are you paid by big low ice? Like, oh Lord.
Found me out.
Yeah, if you break your foot and make sure you have to stand in the corner, then yeah, this boss is pretty terrifying. And okay, and let's even give you that. Switch the places of Ridley and Mother Brain. You're saying you're still not more scared of Ridley at the end than Mother Brain at the end?
Like I feel like Mother Brain's just smaller room, so you can't really dodge Ridley in this room. So that's fair, I guess. He takes up like half the space.
Oh, God. I'm just gonna leave.
No, that's understandable.
I don't know. I feel like I'd get I'm bad at like marathon strats, like just sitting there and doing the same thing to Mother Brain for. And the first time I lose a run to the 199th shot on Mother Brain, I'm gonna rage quit and you'll never see me again. So.
All right, this is a pretty good strat for eliminating the competition. Just get Duck to run low ice, and I don't have to worry about you in playoffs.
Yeah, that's one way to do it. Are you Power Suit or?
No, I'm various.
No. You're I think that's Ace for us. Oh wait, no. That's
no.
Yeah, Zadster.
Yeah, you have stupidly good matchups against us. Anyway, 6 stand-up from Becky. Cool baby skip from Trav as well. Yeah, Trav didn't refill, which is fine, but like... I think here... I actually didn't see how much health he was entering Turian with. I think this is kind of an instance where if I have low health entering Turian, I wouldn't refill, but if I had like full health, I would refill just because it's pretty fast for the number of supers you get.
Yeah, I actually did this math running 69% last year in that multi-cat tournament. Because I was the only one doing new route and I'd be in the situation a lot. It was, I forget what it was, but like you had to be pretty low on supers for it to be worth it. Because like the thing that was more efficient a lot of time was actually just refilling your missiles.
That makes sense.
Yeah. It was all pretty close though. Like I was talking about like seconds either way, but
right.
And I was using some idealized math, but yeah, it was one of those things hard because the problem with doing this math right is between ship and mother brain are the Metroids, right? And the fastest thing is always get very lucky on the Metroids, right? So you have this big sort of like stochastic process in the middle of the two things that you can't just like deterministically solve.
Right.
So,
just get 5 supers from each Metroid. It's fine.
Yeah, exactly. That's always like, oh yeah, that's the fastest, and it's like, well, what's actually fastest depends on the drops you don't know yet, right? So it's one of those weird things. Anyways, Becky's about to finish this game. Talking about stochastic math as she's running to her trans Kirby ship.
You know, no, I'll let you have this one. Kirby's always trans. And with that, Becky does finish with an official racetime.gg time, 55 minutes and 42 seconds. GG.
Yeah, hopefully we can get her in here soon. Oh, no, she said she's not going to be interviewing. That's fine. People be busy.
Imagine. But yeah, GG's to Becky on a race well run. And of course, best of luck to her and her team of Croc's Third Law. Like we had mentioned at the beginning of this, like there are I think 3 teams that are almost equally in contention for second seed.
No, there's 4 teams now, basically.
Oh, true.
There's before this race, it was 3 at 5 and 3, and then Croc's Third was at 4 and 4. So Croc's Third is now effectively tied Tails. And then if they win the second one, they'll not only be 1 win up on them, they'll also have the 2-0 tiebreaker. And that's another thing to mention. You know, one of the reasons it's important for Trav to finish here is if Tails and Croc does go split on this, what's going to matter is the differential. So Trav needs to make this differential as small as possible. I'm not sure who the second matchup between their teams are. I don't know if it's on the schedule yet. Oh, here it is. It's Dirksu versus Exact. So, yeah, if Dirksu basically just not only needs to win against Exact, but also needs to beat her by about 3 minutes, which is what this gap is it's gonna end up being.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting, and I mean he is definitely favored to win that one. So, Exact is really solid, but Dirksu has been around for a long time, and he's definitely also a very solid player. So, I definitely have him as the favorite. So we could see some really interesting things coming around with that tiebreaker.
Yeah, like I said, for Meridia, like Kakarot is only really 2 wins ahead, but I think they're clearly the strongest team in that division. So it would require quite the catastrophe for them to fall out of the playoffs. So yeah, it's 4 fighting for 3. So I think it's almost more interesting that it's like most of them get in, and there's only going to be 1 on the outside. It's going to feel real bad to be that one team.
Yeah. Although speaking of Cat Girls, Cat Girls does have a very interesting week.
Yeah, for us too. That's
I know you are way more interested in that than I am.
Yeah, I was saying because before I realized Chicago was playing that strong of a team this week. If we were both 12-0 going into the last matchup, and since it's co-op and it's average time, what would actually matter is the average time of all 4 races.
Yeah.
like literally nothing, because like, if it was 1-1, right? I mean, if it's 2-0, then that's that. But if it's 1-1, then it goes to the tiebreaker and like goes straight to the second tiebreaker. So that'd be funny. So yeah, we're hoping Cat Girls takes at least 1 off them, and we can go chalk the rest of the way. And Trav is going to finish with the... So, yeah, closer to a 4-minute gap, actually. The 59-44. So, not
GG.
only... Yeah, GG's to Becky, and, GG's to putting up a, 4-minute win. Like I said, that tiebreaker might end up being quite the difference here. Let's see if Trav is going to be coming in.
But... yeah, I mean, like you mentioned, Meridia Division is just wild. I think it's definitely the one to keep your eye out for. Like most other divisions, I think have more or less shaken out. I think my division's fairly solidified. 3rd and 4th is a bit like it could still switch.
Yeah, actually, our division, North Division, is kind of the same, where except it's 2 at the top, and then.
Right.
Then it's another. Then it's 4 fighting for 2. So sort of in the same boat there. So yeah, the North Air and the Meridia playoffs are going to be the other 2 divisions. Yeah, there's a pretty bright line between the top 4 and the bottom 3.
Right. Yeah, Brinstar is going to be interesting to see with the first seed, just because. Vileplume and Wilka Bress went 1-1, but Wilka Bress has 1 loss. Basically, like, Vileplume absolutely needs to not drop any more games, basically. So, like, for the vast majority of teams, these remaining few weeks are actually pretty huge. Because seeding is a really big deal for nearly every team.
Yeah, with it being... especially with the... I didn't realize the kind of mix and match because I was thinking with us with 1 and 2 Chicago Bullies, like we'd end up playing each other in the second round no matter what, but that's not how it works. Everyone sort of gets spread around. So yeah, being the number 1 seed from every division is going to be a bit of a nightmare.
Yeah,
you definitely want to be your own number 1 to avoid the other number 1s for as long as possible. And there's going to be enough number 2 landmines, too, that are...
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, like, I actually think... Kip, close your ears. I actually think in the Criteria division where I am, I think the 2 seed is way better than the 1 seed. It's because, like, the 1 seed has to face either Vileplume or Woke Up Rest. Round 2.
Oh, you're saying... Oh, the 2 seed's in a better...
The 2 seed gets a better spot in the playoffs. I'm
not
not saying that I'm better than Southern.
Better than I was like, take that, world record holder Zost. No, maybe not for long. The way Oast is going, but well, I mean, all those other world records he has, like literally every other one.
At this point, I don't think we're getting either runner in for an interview, and y'all have listened to us talk for about an hour longer than you'd like, so I think that's gonna about do it from us here at
Oh god, Zost is actually here.
Love you, Zost.
Oh, he's gonna come for me. Alright, let's wrap this up and get out of here.
Yeah, be sure to follow the runners. Go follow Traffic Talks. Go follow White Mage Becky. If you'd be so kind, follow the broadcast team as well. I've been Glove, joined on comms by Duck. We've had Incompetent Perfectionist on tracking, and from all of us here at Speed Gaming, we'll see you next mission.